Basics. It is a post-apocalyptic world in Europe set in the future, sort of like steampunk, diesel punk, sci-fi, action, adventure, Indiana Jones kind of feel, a little bit like Firefly, for example. The Valiant 3, the three characters you would play as are wanted men, they're air pirates, they are competing against the Royal Crown. There are two warring colonies going on over in Europe. They are outlaws, and they rob from the rich and give to themselves, or at least at the beginning until the game develops more. So here's more about the world, here's some images from the film itself. Set in future Europe, like we talked about, it's a rebuilt world, so the technology we're talking about is medieval, World War II, current, and sci-fi futuristic is what we're going for on this. So here's a general outline of what we've been doing. The TV short film is almost done. It's gotten a lot of great people on board. It's been developed by a team of recent alumni, including myself, who is about to leave, and then also people that have worked on things like Star Wars itself, The Dark Knight, various other large franchise people have come on board with this project because they have a lot of faith in where it's headed. These are some of the other things that are going to be coming up, but for now we're going to be focusing on the episodic first-person game. So the idea we're thinking about is a story-driven action-adventure kind of a feel. Now, the idea is to make something familiar, but also in a whole new, unique, and original world with different gameplay elements. The idea is to make it episodic, like the Walking Dead game to a certain extent, to where each section of the game that comes out plays by itself, but also connects into an overarching piece. Here's some of the inspiration we have: Modern Warfare, Metal Gear Solid, Portal, Uncharted, Half-Life, Fallout, Crimson Skies. We'll get into that a lot more. It applies different elements together, and it's supposed to be fun. It's going to be funny, it's going to be adventurous, and it's going to be a really good time. Here's the characters you can play as: Ronnie, Fred, Shorty, and Emily. As you can see, they all have different abilities, and we're playing with the idea of switching between them to take advantage of their abilities for some of the puzzle portions of the game, or co-op, if we can finance that, to play as different characters together so you can actually go through the world at the same time. So, the story, we're going to talk about this a lot, but it's really important to us. We're a team of filmmakers that have teamed up with the game development team to put this together. The TV series and the game would theoretically tie together, although they can function independently without being connected. And it's in episodes, complete story beginning, middle, and end, but they're all connected together, all the episodes, to create one overarching story where you have to choose between good or evil, and you can play as either direction if you'd like. So, for example, in the first episode, which we'll get to in a second, it's already being developed, you are the Valiant 3. This is the Valiant, your aircraft that you see right here. It's the middle of a dark, stormy night. You have been assigned a job to steal from the king. So you approach the Reckoning, one of his airships right there. You get on, you sneak through for a while, you get discovered. It becomes more action, more adventure-oriented. The gameplay speed ramps up, the puzzle elements drop out. You eventually end up in a boss fight, and then you escape that. You get back onto the valley, but you are shot down, and you and your team plunge into darkness. And that is the end of the first act. So the idea is to have cliffhangers to make people come back, to keep wanting to play different episodes. We have about the first 8 episodes written already, although only the first one's been developed so far. The audience, fantasy, sci-fi, very popular, as actually Jeffrey showed us already. I was going to talk about that too. Many of the most recent, very successful things that have been popular in media have been fantasy or sci-fi. So that's been great. Target audiences, teen, male, female, 14-34 male, female as well. Specifics, pretty wide range because of the elements that come together in this. If, when the film is launched, of course, there'll be cross-marketing with that franchise base, but at the same time, the game can function by itself. Platform, the first game that's coming out is only going to function on Windows as kind of a test, but of course, we do want to expand it out as financing comes through. There is also a mobile game that's being developed that's an arcade-style thing, but that is separate from this pitch today. The timeline that we have going on right now is the first episode is currently in development. It's led by a designer named Vinnie Morrison, who works over at Blizzard, teaches level design at Chapman, very talented guy. The prototype will be playable by May 25th, which is financed independently as of now through Kickstarter and a couple other various means. If we can find additional financing, we can integrate all of the art assets and really fine-tune this to be a completely playable and very fun, is the goal, actual first prototype. And we can actually do that right now. We're using the indie structure. We have a tight team of people that are very flexible, very efficient. So we think for about $50,000, we could actually get the art assets in there. We could get it tested out, get it released, and kind of get some feedback on it to see if it works or not. We would like to launch the entire product by the summer of 2014. The goal would be to release an episode every 2 weeks. Obviously, if a film studio, TV studio comes on board, that might change, but these are, again, separate products. The funding would go, if we get further funding, to expand the current skeleton team into getting a larger team, although we would like to keep it indie for now. We're not expecting or actually wanting to sell this to Disney or something like that quite yet. The idea is to have a flexible, efficient team. Right now we're thinking, these are very rough numbers that are open to adjustment, but we're thinking about 250 per episode, and then if it actually does become a larger project, about $500,000 to build the first initial infrastructure. The benefit of episodic is that once we build that, it will be much cheaper to release each episode as that continues. I think there are a lot of options on how to make money for this. It kind of depends on what scale of investment we go in. If it's smaller, we'll spend less. If it's more, we'll have to spend more to get money back, as you mentioned in the marketing. There is a lot of existing fan base for this. We've already gotten a lot of money from major people on this. We've gotten a lot of support from large communities, Firefly, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, steampunk, dieselpunk, science fiction, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of people come on board. And then again, like we said, cross-marketing is great, still a good community, standalone product. We're thinking digital marketing right now because we're targeting small. If it gets bigger, we'll make it bigger. And that's it. Valiant, action, adventure, fun new world, larger product possible, but indie is the current goal.